This is Suspenders Unbuttoned, a podcast where friends talk with friends about TV, movies, and books.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to have Drew Henderson and Matreya Scarrwener with us today. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Yes, we're excited to have you. Thanks for being here. And you are both here because you are in the Wedding Cottage, which is coming out on Hallmark on the 15th of April. So we're excited to learn, as much as we can about this movie that has a lot of hype around it. People are excited. So welcome and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll tell you some things, but we can't give away all the secrets.
No one can ever give away all the
Nobody
secrets.
can ever give it away. Yeah. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your characters? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, so our characters are a young couple who have basically they've kind of been through a lot as a couple, and their love has kind of like endured a lot of pain, and they win this like contest to have their dream wife. And yeah, that's kind of our characters. I feel like we're just like kind of sweet young people, honestly.
Yeah, so Scott Bishop, or Staff Sergeant Scott Bishop, who I play, he had an injury. He's in the military and in Afghanistan, so I think when he came, that put a big burden on the relationship, and I think she had called off the engagement, and then Amy, the character Matreya is playing, then she kind of got us back together, and then we have applied for this kind of dream wedding that's going to be happening, and we end up winning, and the rest kind of goes from there.
That's exciting. So we're going to see like little bits of your character's love story, kind of intertwined in the other love story that's going on with, the main characters. So
yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, we've seen some promos already so that we could see that Scott has a military uniform.
Right.
In some of those promo photos and things. So,
and let me tell you, the little boy inside of me, when I put on a military uniform, was so excited. It was so fun, and it really, as actors, I think our wardrobe really, sometimes really you sit in it, you get in it, you become the character. I started walking a different way. I was proud in that, which is pretty fun.
I love that. Yeah, military uniform is something unique too, right? It's just it's got that significance to it. Like you want to do right by the uniform.
Yeah, I told Matreya I would do this, but so because of Scott's injury, he walks with a limp.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I also do is I coach the sport of squash. So in order to have a limp that was the same for the entire shoot, I put 2 squash balls under my heel for the whole shoot. So if you're wondering, what's going on with the limp, it was pretty easy. I just popped them in there, and then every scene, usually the scene would end, and then Matreya would say, "Okay, come on, Scott," and zip away. And I would be hobbling along, just trying to catch up. And the third take, she'd say, "Okay, now."
Did it help keep it consistent though? Because that is actually a hard thing when it's.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be honest, it was a little bit annoying, and it did get painful through into the days. But I thought that was fine and kind of good for the character. And I just, because it was in there, it was just something I didn't have to think about. It was consistent,
right? And
it was enough of a imbalance that it hopefully gives the impression of a prosthetic leg. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty brilliant, because then you're able to just get into your character because you're already kind of naturally walking that way, and you're not thinking about, I have to walk with a limp, right?
Yeah. Not thinking about
Yeah.
intentionally walking with a limp, but being reminded by maybe the phantom pains or the pain of that. So yeah, it did help. I don't know how many other.
Tell us, what does a squash ball look like? How big is it?
It's a rock with lots of spikes on it. No, it's
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm like,
they're rubber balls.
Okay.
And, so squash is actually given its name because of the way that the ball squashes on the wall. So I don't know how many other. I'm sure there are many actor squash players, but I don't know how many have used squash balls in a movie yet. So maybe that
could be the first ever in your shoe.
Somebody else is going to steal that squash ball.
It worked. I think. Yeah.
I like that. That's hysterical. So tell us a little bit about how you got involved in this project. Matreya, why don't you go first?
It's actually kind of a good story. I was away on vacation in Mexico, and I got my phone stolen like the second day. Yeah. Which was stressful, but like in a way it was kind of like I was like very Buddhist about it. Like I made peace with it, and then I was just, oh, I don't have like a screen in my face for my whole vacation. Yeah. Like, you know, I had my friend with me who had her phone for like maps and stuff. And then I get home and I like told my agent, like, if there's anything, just like send it to my friend's email. And I got home the day I was like traveling back to Vancouver. And I was like, oh, I missed an audition. Like I missed the deadline. Like I didn't see it somehow. And I like messaged her and I'll read for it. And she's like, yeah, can I put it on to you like right now? So I like go to my best friend's house who like lives across the street from me, and we like taped it fast. And I was like, "Oh, it's Terry!" Like, I worked with him before, and he's like, I love working with him. Yeah, like one of those ones where I was like, "Okay, what is going on?" And then
and you got it. And you, so what did you work with Terry with before? We love Terry.
I know, he's so talented. This movie called Midlife. It was a Hallmark movie that came out in the summer with Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I liked that movie. It was super fun. It was just like great people, and we were just kind of like on a beautiful lake for the whole shoot. Like it was very chill.
But that's fun to be able to get connected with somebody you already knew and had worked with.
Yeah. Especially when you're like, oh, nice. Like I trust this person.
Right, because Terry is literally one of the nicest people we've ever talked to.
Oh, you've
we've had him and Ruby on a couple of times.
Oh no,
yeah, and we got to meet him in real life too,
right. In Chicago.
Yeah, he's so funny, and he's just one of those directors who's like it's like a talent. He's like so efficient. He's just like like gets it done. It's like it's cool to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, we're Terry fans. That's for sure. We're Terry and Ruby fans, so we're all in. Right. How about you, Drew? How did you get involved in the project?
Well, it all started with an audition.
Yeah. But sometimes that's not the answer, actually.
Yeah, no. Well, so I've done a few Hallmarks now, and I haven't worked with Terry, but I think I did the audition, and then it was no callback or anything. It just went straight to my agent, give me a call, and hey, you've got a booking. Okay, great. Which one? Wedding Cottage. And I'm like, yes, I remember that one. Okay, awesome. When do you start? Very soon. Okay, let's go. Read the script. Yeah. But no, it was. Pardon?
The very soon. That's such a true statement, though, because we actually were talking to Terry, it was like a week and a half or 2 weeks before that was even going to start filming, and he's like, I still don't know who my actors are.
Oh, really?
It can be really quick. I'm just started another Hallmark, and that was a 2-day turnaround, and it was kind of like, okay, let's go. You know, so this one was longer than that, and that feels like, you know, we got all the time in the world.
2 days.
Things move. Yeah, Hallmark they're a well-oiled machine, and they move quickly and efficiently, and
yeah. And I think
my best friend right now. I know both you guys. I hope you're friends.
that's crazy. 2 days. You get the script in enough time then to look at something like that?
Oh yeah, I read it like 3 times in 2 days. No problem.
Heck, you're good.
And that's it. You memorize your stuff.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it depends. Like This one is spread out. So I have like, I think 9 days, but spread out. So what I do is I familiarize myself with the story and the text, make a few choices, and then I'll just brush up the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. What do you do, Matreya?
If I have to shoot 2 days after auditioning,
well, just in general, like for your dialogue or for learning your lines, like, you know, there's some actors are very, very meticulous about learning every single line and putting tons of work. I know some that just kind of give it a read and then we'll just brush up the night before. But it depends if you're a bigger role and you're working from morning till night, then I think you would want to do much more, you know, legwork at the beginning, so you're not staying up late and, you know, when you have an early morning the next day. But,
yeah, totally. Yeah. I do, like, some actors are different. I do try to be kind of like basically word perfect, just because I feel like, I don't know, like, out of respect to the writer, if that's kind of like wrote down. Some writers don't care and some writers do, and you never really know, so you might as well just like say what they wrote down.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always like read the whole script, start with that. Yeah, definitely like go back to the scenes that I'm in and kind of just like get familiar and go from there. I feel like it's kind of evolved. Maybe when I was younger, I used to like be really, like, oh, I gotta like drill my lines, and now I'm a little more like loosey-goosey with it. But I definitely like to be pretty like comfortable and know what's going on by the time I like get to set.
It's interesting how everybody's process is so different, and everybody we talk to.
Right. We've got a couple that have soap backgrounds, and those guys can like binge and purge lines like there's no tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Right. Because like we had Kelly Kruger Brooks and Darren Brooks on together, and she was just talking about how Darren can just like look at it and give you 40 pages right back. She's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is really like, you know, I have friends who are not actors who the first question is, so how do you learn all those lines?
Right.
You know? And it truly is like over the years you maybe I personally I write them down. I just find that getting it physically out of my body really helps. But it's kind of a muscle memory kind of skill, and the more you do it, the easier it is.
Right.
So things that years ago I would look at, you know, a 10-page audition or even a couple-page monologue and think, oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to do this, or this is going to take me 10 years to learn. And now it's you know, the time is it's quick. It really is. But it just comes with practice. And, you know, Matreya and I think we work a decent amount and audition a lot, so we're just used to doing it.
Yeah. Right. It just becomes kind of second nature.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why someone who's like been on a soap can just like look at 40 pages and be like, boom, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not there.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah. That's one thing we hear from those is like, and they can just do lines like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
They talk about the guys that have been on for 40 years too, and they're like, he pretty much just touches the script and walks away and knows all the lines.
Yeah.
They can just absorb
Feel the lines. Feel them. Yeah.
I will say, Matreya, this is the first time anybody has ever sat on a hammock. I kind of want one now.
I was just gonna say, I desperately need a hammock at work, and I could probably get away with that. Right?
I was thinking, I've been like swinging, and I'm like, I'm distracting. I've been like,
no, I have been yelled at because I actually have a chair that does not move because people were like, you swivel too much. And I'm like, yes, I do. Thank you. So I'm like, I need a hammock. That would be perfect. I'm like all in.
Sarah, you said you have a hammock, right? Was that you?
No, we have swings in our house, like for my son when he goes on a oh my gosh, what the heck is it called now? They're like flat board swings, kind of.
Teeter-totter. What?
Oh gosh, there's a name. There's a occupational therapy name for it. I can't even think of it. But yeah, I would love to have a hammock. I'm just gonna put one in right here.
Right in your closet.
You can do just a single chair hammock, you know.
Yeah.
Room for that.
Yeah.
We can buy them from the state fair.
You'll have to change your name to Hallmarks and Hammocks.
I was actually just looking because we had the hook is still there.
Yeah.
There's a hook in our ceiling. Well, this is my daughter's old room, and so I'm just like, there was it was hanging right there, and the hook is still there. I might be all in.
You're halfway there.
All you need to do is hook it, Julie.
Yeah. She also had like this like drapey thing. It had butterflies all over. It was really cute.
Perfect. All right. So you guys are both out of Vancouver, and did you film in Vancouver too? So is this all shot there?
Yeah, kind of surround like Greater Vancouver. Yeah.
So that's at least that's nice and easy. So when you get the short turnaround, you don't have to like go away.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because Drew and I live pretty close together. So it was like, I don't know, what would you say, like 45-minute drive? It was a huge drive me every day.
Yeah. We would drive together, and that was kind of fun because we
Yeah.
would, that way when we had already talked and had had between us. It was good. But yeah, the biggest thing. So some of the really huge budget movies will film downtown Vancouver, but that obviously costs a lot. So most of the productions are out in Langley, Maple Ridge, Abbotsford, and that's where a lot of the hallmarks take place. Mm-hmm. Now the benefit of that for us is that when we drive out there, everybody is coming in to Vancouver. Yeah. So we have smooth sailing on the way out, and then usually smooth sailing on the way back in. So it's actually very nice going and working out there, and it's quite peaceful. Obviously, as you know, with hallmarks, a lot of the locations are quite picturesque. So there's lots of beautiful towns with kind of old looking buildings and nice scenery. So I love it. I love going out there.
And you needed a cottage. So you must have found a cottage somewhere, right?
Well, yeah.
A cottage that needed to be fixed up.
So did it start off like not looking great, or was that a lot of magic?
It's kind of like the building itself, I'm not sure, but it looks so old, but it's so beautiful. It looked kind of like something kind of out of a fairy tale. It had like it was very like magical.
Very like Snow White's cottage or whatever, where the dwarves.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes, totally.
Yeah, the whole like kind of land it was on was kind of like that. Like you go down this driveway with all these like kind of spooky trees, and just like it was very magical. And I was expecting something totally different. I thought it was gonna be like a cute little cottage, but it was just like this big like kind of like cement like it was almost like I don't know. I liked it a lot.
I love
Maleficent lives there.
Right?
Yeah.
Maleficent, that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, right. So we see in the trailer that it's clearly run down and they need it to be fixed up. So that's how Erin, which I'm not sure her character's name.
I just saw Vanessa.
Yeah.
Okay. Is trying to get this cottage up and running so you can have your wedding there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think Brennan's character is Elliot? Evan.
Yeah.
Evan. Evan. I just looked at it before we started.
Yeah.
Vanessa and Evan need to get the cottage together. Because
maybe fall in love.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a Hallmark movie, so
don't in most Hallmarks they don't fall in love at the end.
Right? Doesn't happen. That's not the story.
This is just like the other ones. No happy ending. No, it is. So we've won this wedding contest, and then this cottage has sort of family ties to us, to Amy's character, and so Vanessa, says, "Okay, great, we'll take care of it." And then once she goes out to see it, she, meets Evan and finds out that this is not going to be either as easy because of the shape that the place is in, but then also how resistant Evan is being. So it's they have some work to do.
And then we know there is a reporter girl.
Oh, I saw that. That was awesome. Yeah.
So that's fun. Which we wrote her a whole side movie.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. For the Wedding Cottage too.
Yeah, for the Wedding Cottage, only reporter girl. She's the overworked reporter girl who's not focused on a relationship at all, and then accidentally falls in love, right?
Yes. Has she been reporting weddings, but hasn't found her own?
But hasn't found love, right?
Yeah.
Right? We've got this. We can pitch it. We can pitch it, right?
Maybe there'd be 2 reporters from 2 competitive news agencies who
that could be good
get
too.
each other on the same story, you know?
And then they end up working
Yeah,
together to get
Okay.
it done.
I'll act in it too. I'll do it.
All
Okay,
right.
let's go.
Yeah.
We'll cast a group of you.
Matraya, you in?
I'm in.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Perfect.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Love it. So your costumer in this movie is Geraldine, who we
Oh,
also have had opportunity to talk to, and we love her style and work. So we know you, Drew, had the military, uniform. Matreya, tell us about something that you really loved.
Well, I got to wear a wedding dress.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, wait, so this movie is just gonna be me like in pretty dresses at a cottage, like all days. I'm like, that's good to me. And also like all my stuff. I mean, but yeah, we went to I also love Geraldine. She's like really good at her job and like also the most charming person ever.
Right.
But yeah, we went to we did the fitting. I showed up and I was like, who's playing my and she's like, Drew Henderson. I'm like, I don't know that guy, but she's cool. And then we went to an actual wedding dress store for me to put on dresses. And they were like, what are you guys thinking? And they're like, oh, we don't know. And I was like, cottagecore. It's got to be cottagecore. And I'm like, obviously. So yeah, that was super fun, going to like a real wedding dress store and getting to like try on a bunch of wedding dresses. And the one they picked was my favorite one. So
Perfect.
Love that. Not that she hasn't recently put a lot of women in wedding dresses because she did all the wedding bill.
Yeah.
Which Terry did too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, he
He
did
did most
4
of
of the
them.
6.
Yeah.
So he did the first 3 and then number 5. So that's what we had him on for this time, was number 5. So yeah. So 4 of the 6, whatever. He also did 3 Wise Men and a Baby. He had just one of those real low years where nothing went right? Or something like that.
No hit movies.
Right. So we're pretty sure this is going to be a hit too. So
I think so. I've got to say as well, Matreya, you looked stunning in that wedding.
I can't wait to see
You
it.
look stunning in everything, but that wedding dress.
Yeah.
I remember looking at her coming down, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, Scott's a lucky guy."
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but if Geraldine is putting somebody in a wedding dress, that's a high bar, though, too. Like, if you've not gotten married, you're like, well, Geraldine dressed me in one. How am I going to be?
Yeah, right?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us if there's like a little Easter egg. Could be something funny you want us to look for, or a scene that you really loved shooting. Something we can look for as we're watching.
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like there was so many fun moments, but I don't know. Drew.
If you have a spot.
Well, okay, the first thing that came to my mind. So I've worked with Brendan before on a movie, and so because a lot of the time you don't know. Same thing Matreya said, who's this guy, Drew Henderson? So we don't know the cast until we look at the list. And then of course I saw Aaron and go, wow, amazing. And then I saw Brendan and I go, I've already worked with them. So maybe this is a terrible thing that you should be looking for. But Brendan and I kind of have this thing, or we at least started on this movie. Whenever our characters would handshake, which was a couple times, he would slip a finger and tickle my hand and then try and look me right in the eye with the tickle. And and it never, we always, we're professional and you might never notice, but
we're looking now. These are the best things.
That is a spectacular.
He did it the first time I'm looking at him, and then I did it to him the next time, and then now it's kind of a
thing.
Not the thing.
They're very, very professional on set though.
Right. But there you are.
Yeah. And then Erin too was lovely. I mean, she's just a star, and she there's an energy about her and a kindness. And I remember one time in particular, we had a bit of extra time in a day, and there was a scene that I was supposed to be shooting with Brendan the next day or in the next few days. And then somebody came and said, do you mind if we squeeze this scene in? And I said, okay, no. I think it was in my trailer at the time. Mm-hmm. But then Erin came and she said, are you okay doing this? Are you ready? Do you need more time? And it's just, she didn't need to do that, but she just really, really took the time to make sure that, she really set the tone for this set and made us all feel really welcome and comfortable. And I just think that that's worth mentioning.
I love that.
You really everyone. And like, I feel like, as the lead, you have a lot to think about, like she's really experienced, but it's still like not an easy job, but she was definitely, she had like everyone on her mind. Like she's always kind of like making sure everyone is okay. Like she's really genuinely, and like those two, I'm really actually excited to move myself. Like they're both like really cool, like funny people. And I can, like, from what I saw from like when I was there, and then like from what I didn't see, like I can imagine they have like really great chemistry, because those like they're just like both so funny. Like Brendan is so funny. I remember meeting him the first day and being like, oh my gosh, like I riot. Like I just feel like they're just like, from who they are, like they're just gonna like create they're gonna create something really fun.
Right.
So speaking of Erin, she posted a picture of the two of you. So this is a fun thing. And it's clearly the cake tasting scene, right? Everyone loves a good cake tasting scene. Did you get to taste the cakes?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Were they real cakes? Were they good?
Mm-hmm. They were really good.
My favorite, I think, was I am a big carrot cake fan, so my favorite of them was the carrot. But there was lots of different options, and we, luckily shot multiple takes. So you have to be careful, though. You have to be careful that I take fairly small bites.
Right. I was like eating cake and cakes.
So what was your favorite cake, Matreya?
Oh, there was this kind of like chocolate, I guess like tuxedo cake kind of thing. Yeah. Really good. I think it was like a cookies and cream cake, actually. It was really good.
They all look amazing. There was like, one of them looked like it was like a blueberry lemon cake, maybe, or
yes. Yeah.
Yes. I was just like, oh, we all need to go to the cake testing. Can we come with?
Yeah.
There are definitely some times when you're working on set and you think, this is my job right now, to just, enjoy some cake, with people I really enjoy spending time with. This is a
same lines while I test cake. Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. So are you planning on watching live? Or probably not live, because I don't know if it's coming out the same time in Canada.
I think a lot of the time the Hallmark movies, they'll come on the Women's Network here. And
right, it is. I saw it coming out on the Women's Network.
Okay, I forgot.
Did you know when?
I think the same time.
The same time.
Oh, well then, yes.
Let me look. I swear I saw it on Instagram.
During Canada, often things will come out and I'm like, oh, I really want to watch it, and then I'll just have to like ask you, like, can you please send it to me, please?
The W Network says The Wedding Cottage, Saturday, April 15th.
Perfect.
As part of Stack TV, so it's airing on Saturday.
Sweet.
Okay.
So
I'm like, I think I just saw it on Instagram.
So will you live tweet along with the movie?
That could be fun. I'm actually in Toronto on Saturday. I'm going to the Canadian Screen Awards on Friday, which I'm really excited about. And then, but yeah, I want to figure that out. I could live tweet from Toronto. I could find a TV and watch it.
And live
or you could just tweet along with whatever everybody's.
For what everyone else is tweeting.
Throw out a couple of tweets. Yeah. People love that. I'm sure Erin is always on Twitter during her thing, so I'm sure
she'll tweet.
There'll be a big Twitter party.
Drew,
yeah.
Tweet.
All right, I'll do it.
Do it.
I'm actually really excited, because we did work with Erin and Brendan, but obviously the scenes they shot were alone, so I'm excited to see them work together. From the trailer, it looks fun. I'm excited.
And she's been posting some behind the scene videos, and they're funny.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. That's where we got the cake.
The green room, we were all laughing a lot.
Yeah,
that's where it should be. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty fun.
Well, it's a bummer you had such an awful time filming this.
It was just
someone's got to do it though.
Right?
Someone's got to do the dirty work.
So you guys both have done some Hallmark, but not completely all Hallmark. How did you guys get into acting? Either of you? Like, that's just the loaded question, by the way. But were you like, I want to be an actor my whole life, or was it some random thing?
Do you want to go first, Matreya, or?
Sure. So I've been acting, man, 11 years I've been acting, which is wild when I think about it. But I started acting when I was like 14. And I've been kind of around a lot of theater growing up. I saw a lot of theater, so I kind of like, I always just thought it looked really fun. So that was kind of what made me want to be an actor. But then living in Vancouver, there's definitely a lot more film than there is theater. So then when I remember being a kid and like watching some kids in movies and being like, I want to be an actor. My parents were like, oh, like, sure. Like until I was like older, like I was like, okay, I can figure out how to like do this. But yeah, I just kind of started auditioning in the city and then kind of fell in love with doing film and TV through doing it. And it's been really, really fun. Like a really fun job.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love
What
that.
was your first big job?
My first job was a show called The Haunting Hour. Are you guys familiar with that? It's like, do you know Goosebumps?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically like the exact same thing as Goosebumps. It's like a children's horror anthology based on like R.L. Stein stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like these two kids who like go to a haunted hotel that brainwashes their parents into like trying to get them and like kill them, like throw them into the haunted painting. Yeah.
Perfect.
It sounds like a fun first job to jump right into the
Yeah.
horror.
How about you, Drew? How did you get into acting, or was that always what you wanted to do?
Well, so no, I believe I wanted to be a farmer when I was a kid.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I grew up in a small town on Vancouver Island, which is on the west coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it just never even crossed my mind that it was an option to become an actor. I mean, I loved movies and I love stories, and I've always loved music and kind of writing poetry. Like I enjoy the art. But it wasn't until I had, I'd been to business school and a physiotherapy for a while and tried a bunch of different things, but felt really quite lost in that none of the things I was trying was my real purpose. And then eventually one of my friends who I used to play music with, he said, why don't you try an acting class? I thought, acting class? We have those here? And I was living in Victoria at the time.
Okay.
I ended up going there and was terrified at first, but continued to do it and really started to just fall in love with learning the craft of it, and then started taking some advanced classes, and then I got a scholarship to do the full-time program, and then moved over to Vancouver about 8 years ago. And since then, it's just kind of there's been highs and lows, but I've just never looked back. It's something I want to be doing the rest of my life.
I love that.
Great. I love that you found your purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that a friend was like, go try
Yeah.
this. They saw something there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And my first role is not as exciting as Matreya's. It was I think it was a Lifetime movie.
That's exciting.
And it was a Britney Spears kind of biopic, and it's called Britney Ever After. And anyways, I was a waiter, and my line was, "Your credit card's declined, sir." And let me tell you,
You nailed it.
I really delivered that line. I rehearsed it a lot, but
You nailed it.
that was the first one, and every year it's just gotten better since.
That's a cool start, though.
That is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think about this sometimes because I liken it to. I'm going to go ahead and compare acting to being a mechanic, but if you are a mechanic, they're not going to put you on the Ferraris or anything on the first day or big. You have to show. At the beginning, you have small lines. You have to work with different directors. You have to really, unless you're absolutely perfect for this role and you can only do it, then it just makes sense to me that it's a slow kind of process, and that it takes time to really learn. Like every time, I'm sure Matreya is the same way. Every time we work, we learn something or take something different away from it, and learn how to work with different people and learn about ourselves. So it's a profession that, it's not like hey, I'm finished acting school. Okay, I'm an actor. I'm good to go. It's ongoing, and you have to constantly kind of learn and hone the craft and try new things and fail. And so it's pretty exciting. It really is something we can do till we're, near dead.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing something where you didn't learn something new every day. And so I love that you say that you're always learning. And getting something new from somebody else. It's like that's my job. I learn something new every day. I can't imagine not learning something new. So I love that you guys are always changing, growing.
Absolutely.
Fun. That makes it fun. Interesting.
On this movie, I learned that Matreya is awesome.
Yeah, that
was a big takeaway. Yeah.
We were fast friends for sure.
Yeah, we got along. I don't know if you can tell. And yeah, I think you said, I couldn't quite hear, but I'm the movie I'm in right now, one of her best friends is in it as well. So we kind of made that connection, and then Alex and I are already.
Yeah.
You like Matreya, I like Matreya. Okay, we're friends.
Yeah.
we can get along.
It's like the Venn diagram. Your friend, now we're overlapping friends.
Yeah.
Right. And so for sure we belong together then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is
great.
Could we see each other at a party sometime? Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Birthday party. Yeah. You just didn't even in a couple weeks.
Say that again.
You were already at my birthday party together.
Yes, I know. You invited me to a birthday party. It was very fun.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Super fun. Super fun.
I love that.
She has cool friends.
I bet she does.
Good. That's fun. So you didn't know each other before, and then you must have connected right before, and then you started driving in together, so you got to be friends, and I'm sure that we'll be able to see that on through the screen.
We certainly hope so.
Yeah. Usually you can, I think, anyway. Okay, I have another loaded question for you. If you could have any role in an old movie or an old series, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay. When I was a kid, we didn't have much TV at my parents' house, but whenever I'd go see my grandparents' house, they would have TV movies, and they would have, when I was younger, 14A movies, which my parents, it was a big no-no, but at my grandparents' I was allowed. So I watched Gladiator with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And that became my favorite movie ever. And I think that, maybe if I could go back, I would love to do a role like that.
Yeah.
I still love that movie.
Good answer.
That is a great answer. Yeah. Anytime that movie comes on TV, it ends up on in my house.
Yeah. You leave it. You don't change the channel. Yeah.
Right.
Just the soundtrack and everything is
you have to
beautiful.
stop. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's me.
Great answer.
I think I want to be Glinda the Good Witch.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I'd get people to call me that. I'd be like, I'm the Good Witch.
Uh-huh.
That's so cute.
Plus the costuming is spectacular.
Right. Sorry.
The dress.
Oh, yeah, I know that pink. Yeah,
the pink dress. Yeah.
Yes, you understand. Just being like, she's like glowing. She's like,
sparkly.
Yeah.
Can't imagine why when you were a kid you thought that's amazing, because that was literally amazing.
I think that she had the most magical aura about her than any other character really that I can think of.
I know, she's epic.
Yeah.
Also, her entrance is spectacular. And back then there was no computer animation. You had to make that entrance happen, right?
That movie is so good.
So good. So good.
Yeah, that's my favorite answer.
Am I allowed to flip the question on you guys?
Oh, yeah. Sure. My answer would be Anne of Green Gables. I would want to go and be in that movie. The Megan Follows. Is that her name? Oh, yeah, that adaptation. Yeah.
Good choice.
I'm gonna age myself significantly here.
It's old movies is the question.
It's gonna be
or like his girl. Any Judy Garland movie, put me in that. Yeah.
She's got a Judy Garland thing, just so you know. So I'm gonna age myself significantly and state I was very, very young, way too young to be this involved in this show. But there's an old show, and it was called Emergency, and it was about a couple of paramedics.
Oops.
And it was I can remember sitting with my sucking my thumb. That's how little I was. Watching, and back in the day when it was an hour-long show, and it would be like stretched out forever, and there'd be a million episodes. I'd be there every week. My dad would pop me some popcorn so I could watch Emergency. So,
well, you did kind of put yourself in that movie.
I live my life that way. Johnny Gage and Roy DeSoto. Bum, 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 emergency. Yeah, I was like there. So they were rescuing people, and and when I teach resuscitation, we used to always say you're going to Johnny Gage the bicarb, because he would always flip the bicarb backs off and put the bicarb together, right, when they're doing resuscitation. And I can't do that anymore because everybody's so young, they have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Like, you two don't have any idea, but you can look it up. We're going to Johnny Gage the bicarb now and put her together, and they just look at me now. I'm like, oh, so sad.
It had a good run though.
It was on a long time, actually. Yeah. Kind of, before Chips. It was very little though, but yeah. But anyways, that's my life. So, but I would watch that every week. So.
Wow.
I love that. I love that, Julie, that you, from that young age, you were intrigued.
An adrenaline junkie.
Right. And she
Otherwise,
works
I would
in a hospital now, in case you haven't figured that out. But yeah.
It would be a women's action something or another.
Mm.
Can you be an action something? That would be my other thing.
Cool.
It wouldn't be Anne of Green Gables.
Put me in with like the books and the flowers and
Star Wars, the latest, was her name Ran, the new gal, like something like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry that I'm walking. I just realized my phone might die, so I have to get a charger.
You gotta get a charger. Okay.
Go ahead.
This is like MTV Cribs. We're getting.
I know, right?
Yeah. This is my house. Welcome MTV. This is my crib.
So this is my crib. Yeah.
Welcome to my crib.
MTV Cribs. That's okay. We just get Sarah's closet.
Yeah.
It's so cute though.
My little closet. So we love to play a little favorites game towards the end of the podcast, and would you want to play?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would.
Favorites game?
Yeah.
Just tell us your favorite. We'll tell you what it is.
So let's start with movie. What is your favorite movie?
Ooh.
Or one of your favorite. You can list more.
Nothing like asking actors what their favorite movie is.
It's so hard. When someone asks you what your favorite movie is, and you're like, I don't think.
Shawshank Redemption. Drew said Shawshank Redemption. Yes. Spectacular.
I sometimes think just whatever the first one to pop to my head is usually, because really it is hard. Matreya is right. It's hard. Like
I have so hard.
Different seasons for favorite movies.
I feel like when I think of like all-time favorite movies, I think of like favorites from when I was a kid. Like I used to we had these like VHSs of The Wizard of Oz. Yeah. We had Grease. We had Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yes. We had are you familiar? My favorite movie as a kid, do you know the movie Ella Enchanted?
Yes.
Yes. 100%.
I know that.
I could probably list off I can probably list off all the movies.
I don't think I was a kid when that came out, but I know it.
Ella Enchanted, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Maybe when I think of like I used to watch all these musical movies like Grease or like I used to watch Chicago
so good.
Yeah, so
those are solid movies. Yeah,
of course, any Disney movie with singing and dancing in it.
Yeah.
High School Musical and all of those.
High School Musical, totally. Yes.
Right. No, those are still spectacular. Let's be honest. Yeah. It was like, oh, that's just a thing. They could get here. They're still around, and people are still talking about them. So Disney knows how to do it. What's your favorite comfort TV show, or what are you binging currently?
Ted Lasso for me.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Ted Lasso is great.
3 seasons out. It just hits you in the feels.
I started it, but I haven't finished, so I need to do that.
Ted Lasso.
I'm happy for you. Whenever somebody hasn't seen a good show, I'm like, this is wonderful.
Yeah, I think I started the first episode and got distracted and then forgot. Yeah. I will watch it.
Oh my gosh, I've been so busy recently. I haven't been watching anything, but the last thing I watched was like The White Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Theo James. Yeah.
So good.
So good.
All right. How about a favorite hobby or activity? Squash.
Squash.
Well, this is the thing. I love playing squash, but I've been doing it for a living for a long time.
Yeah.
So
that's now a job. Yeah.
You know, sometimes the only thing, acting when you do it for a living doesn't take the fun out of it. But sometimes when, you know, I would say guitar. I play guitar, sing, and like to write songs, and that's probably, you know, whenever I'm twiddling my thumbs, I think, oh, let's just play some guitar, and I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
For me, I do a lot of yoga. I swim in the ocean a lot, like most of the time in the summer. But like last year, I was in this big like kind of like cold dip kind of like mood, but I haven't really been in that mood this cold season. I have a really big community, so I have a lot of great people in my life, so I make a lot of time for them. I'm a big reader.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Right now I am reading this book called The Sixth Extinction. It's actually on my floor next to my bed that I have to be beside because I'm charging my phone. And it's been really cool. It's been really like interesting and entertaining. The book started and I was like, this book is making me worried about all these things that like I don't need to be worried about right now. Like it's like the first chapter of the book is like the frogs, like where are they going? And I'm like, oh no, like where are the frogs going? They're disappearing. But like as the book goes on, it like talks about kind of like the scientists that like discovered like extinction and talks about like dinosaurs and stuff. It's cool. I'm just kind of like in the first like third of the book, but so far it's pretty good.
I often find myself wondering, where do the frogs go?
Where are the frogs going?
Where do the frogs go?
Okay, so what it is actually, do you guys get where the frogs are going? I'm just going to tell
Tell
you.
us.
Yeah, tell us where the frogs are going.
It's a fungus. There's a fungus that frogs were brought over from Africa in like the 60s because there was this like specific frog that was like used. It's really like it sounds made up, but it's true. It was this frog that was used in the 60s as a pregnancy test because if you injected them with a pregnant woman's urine, they would lay eggs in a matter of hours. But they carried this fungus, it like that was like invasive to like places that it's not like indigenous to. So it would like it's really unhealthy for the frogs that aren't used to it. So basically like it does something to their skin that they can't absorb electrolytes anymore. So the frogs go into cardiac arrest, and that's where the frogs are going. So,
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
now you know. If you didn't know, now you do.
At the beginning of this podcast, you said that sometimes we go on tangents, and I bet we didn't think we were going to figure out where the
frogs and electrolyte imbalances. And I can second that. If your electrolytes are imbalanced, you go into cardiac arrest because the cardiac muscle cannot repolarize and cannot contract again. So there you go.
I didn't know anything about that, but yeah. So you're like, what are you reading right now? I'm like, I
love that. Do you guys have a favorite, something a little lighter? Vacation spot.
Okay, so for me, in Vancouver, there's a funny thing because the U.S. border slices off a little peninsula.
Right.
And it's called Point Roberts. So even though it's attached to Canada, there's a small little border crossing. And anyways, my aunt and uncle who live in Palm Springs, they have a cabin there that's right on the water, and you're not there often. So for my refuge to get out of the city and kind of recharge the batteries and reground myself, I go out there.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So it's just a very peaceful and special place. And sometimes I think, oh man, I need to go travel across the world. And I think, do I need that? Or do I just need to go sit by the water at the cabin? So that's my special place.
Oh, that sounds perfect. How about you, Matreya?
It's funny, like every time I plan a trip, I always like tend to want to go somewhere I've never been.
Mhm.
Like I'm like, oh, I could go see like friends or family. I'm like, oh, but I want to see somewhere that I've never been to. So I kind of like, I wouldn't say I have a regular like vacation spot, but there's so many gorgeous places in BC. Tofino is definitely pretty magical. I'm sure Drew has been there way more than I have. Yeah, there's just so many like places to discover. I love to go camping. I love the Sunshine Coast, which really embarrassing, but I found out way too recently that it is not on Vancouver Island. It is on the coast of BC, which obviously, but yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. That's on our getting to what's on our Victoria. Wait, is that what it is? Victoria?
Yeah, or Vancouver. It's our places we've never been. So that's.
You guys have never been to Vancouver?
I've never been. This is just really hard for me to keep admitting regularly. I have never been to Canada. I've lived in Minnesota. I have literally looked at the guards on the border and waited.
Well, come on. We don't bite. You can come and say hi.
Yeah.
We'll give you some maple syrup and apologize for everything.
We're tapping maple syrup around here anyway.
Yeah.
Maple syrup season, so it's running right now.
Yeah, I just need to get my passport.
What's Minnesota like?
Cold.
It's what's Minnesota like? The last week we had a foot of snow last week. 72 today, 83 tomorrow, 42 on Sunday. So it's, last week our mail, the snow was so deep, our mailbox was under the snow. Our bank was over the top of the snow. I was sending them guys pictures.
Yeah.
And today I can see my mailbox out there in our backyard. It's pretty, you can see most of that grass. So
yeah.
You guys
I've
have, like,
never been to Minnesota.
Like an intense spring in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think we're gonna skip spring this year and go right to summer. So I think we're just gonna do that.
Yeah. Oh. That's kind of cool though. It's like I feel like you think that like it like I love the snow. We barely get it in Vancouver. So I kind of feel like it's like a bit magical, like for in April to have like snow.
I'm just gonna say we got snow in October and we've had snow since October. We're all real done.
You're over it, right?
The magical feeling has disappeared for you guys.
Yeah. It's been gone since October.
Last week. The Minnesota TikToks on TikTok last week are spectacular. Everyone is like, no.
We
had snow solid since October. Like
we get snow and then everybody's like, oh my gosh, the snow, and it's amazing. But then if it lasts for a week or two, we go, oh, snow.
Yeah, no, we've had snow solid since October. So so finally now today, everyone's posting. The grass is out. I mean, it's like mid-70s today. So
wow. Yeah.
It was a fast warm up.
Yeah, we had a very light winter here in Rhode Island, and I can't complain about that. But tell us, you have a favorite? Oh, what?
Yeah, let's finish up with one last one.
Okay, band or singer?
Do you know yours, Matreya?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. I know mine too.
Oh, okay. My favorite band, well, right now, my favorite band is T-Rex. Are you guys familiar with T-Rex?
No.
They're this like rock band from the 70s. They've been described as like a psychedelic folk band.
Are they from the 70s?
Yes, they're from the 70s. Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
And you don't know them, Julie?
Yeah, because I have my interest very much is exactly big head, little arms. That's a quote directly from Meet the Robinsons. But like my background is rock, right? Like,
oh, really?
That's my interest.
Mark Bolan is the lead singer. Yeah. T-Rex. I think you'll like them.
He's looking it up right now. I can tell.
I mean, I have them. English. They're English.
Oh, you'll know some of their more popular songs for sure.
Mark Bolan. They're from 1960. That's a little older. That's more classic rock. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to.
I know.
Get it on. Oh,
can I play? I can't play music on this. Hey, probably for like licensing reasons.
Oh, that's a good question. YouTube would probably block it out, I bet.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
I've tried before. Take it away.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is this them? T-Rex song, Bang a Gong. Like that's a
Yeah.
classic.
You know
Bang a
that's
Gong, Get It On.
Yeah.
Oh, no, those are like classics. Those are
Yes.
rock classics.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna know some of it.
Yeah, absolutely know those.
Yeah.
Those could currently be on a dad rock list.
Yes. Oh, I'm
Because
definitely
dad rock's really cool right now.
Dad rock is really cool.
Yeah. No, it's like really in. Classic rock's really in. The Who,
Yes.
Stones, all that. All right, Drew, who's your favorite singer?
Well, I love to play a lot of Gord Downie or like the Tragically Hip songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like a good Canadian.
Yeah.
But as of late, like I just went to see a concert a few months ago, and it's there's an Indigenous artist from Winnipeg, Manitoba, where his name's William Prince,
Okay.
and he just has 2 albums out, but his songwriting and his voice, his storytelling are just amazing, and he's getting more and more popular, and I've seen some of his music in some kind of even bigger Hollywood movies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just as of late, it's been kind of my go-to.
Right. You've
William,
been able to see him live?
yeah, I saw a few months ago. I saw him live. It was beautiful. You know, it was maybe 400 or 500 people, so it's still quite intimate.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, obviously because of the pandemic, we
haven't had much.
Yeah, so it was just really, really special. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm impressed that you both had somebody and you were like, yep, we already know our answer for that question, because I feel like that one is even worse than
the movie.
Favorite movie. Like nobody ever knows who their favorite.
I mean, if we did the podcast tomorrow, we might have different answers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's so many that are close to being, your favorite.
Right.
It's tough.
Or your favorite at the moment.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you listening to? Well, thank you for joining us today on the podcast. And your movie is airing on Saturday, right? Okay, right? The Wedding Cottage, Hallmark, 8/7 Central. And also on the W channel in Canada, because I looked it up. The W channel.
Perfect.
W. Not this.
Not the YMCA. That's
just the W.
It's a whole different song. It's a whole different song.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell everybody how to follow you on social media, and especially Twitter, so they can tweet with you on Saturday night?
Well, I am on Instagram, and my handle is from Drew to you.
Yeah.
And
It's a
I
great
actually don't, when you were saying that, I don't use Twitter, but I think I'm going to get it and start before Saturday. I'm just getting into social media. I know I have to, but I'm like an old man in that sense, and I'm getting better at it. So doing this podcast is pretty good for me.
All right, way to go. We're not too scary, so.
No.
Not scary. What about you, Matreya?
My Twitter and my Instagram is. You can spell it.
Oh no, you cut out a little.
I was just like, I just made a joke. I was like,
Oh.
spell it. But yeah, it's just my name.
Okay.
Okay, Matreya
That's
Scarrwener.
easy.
Yes, and I think I tagged you on Twitter. So we'll look for you on Saturday night. Maybe Drew will have a Twitter on Saturday night.
I know this is. I'm going to spend the next few days really learning how to do it well.
If you learn how to, if you can just retweet a few people, that'll go a long ways too.
Yeah.
People will be
People will
happy.
find you probably if you do that. Yep.
And the wedding. So Hallmark always uses the movie's name as their hashtag. So your hashtag for your movie is The Wedding Cottage. So put that in on all your tweets. Add in hashtag The Wedding Cottage.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how everyone knows how to find you.
I like it.
So hang on for 1 second. We'll say goodbye off the screen. We'll end the live. But thank you for being here. It was so fun to meet you. And thank you, everybody, for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.